but at this stage, I'd like to invite up on stage Mr. Pranav Adani, Managing Director, Agro Oil and Gas, and Director of the Adani Enterprises, to deliver the keynote address at the NDTV Infrashakti Awards. Mr. Adani, please.
Honorable Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Hardeep Singh Ji Puri Ji, winners of the Infrashakti Awards, distinguished leaders, administrators, and captains of industry, and my dear friends. Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to address such a distinguished audience at the NDTV Infrashakti Awards 2024, an event where we celebrate the transformative power of infrastructure in our nation's development. First of all, congratulations to all the winners. Your presence here is a proud recognition of the work that you do and of the great contributions several generations of India's infrastructure creators have made to the growth and development of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, human history, whether ancient or modern history, shows us beyond doubt that infrastructure is the fundamental key to all the progress. It is the foundation on which every developed and developing society is built, and it is the foundation that enables economic growth, improves quality of life, and ensures sustainable development. As our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, reminded us, robust infrastructure is often recognized as the primary growth engine for a developing nation. India's progress is directly influenced by how strong the backbone of the country's infrastructure is. Here, the understated point is that in any country, the development of sustainable infrastructure is inseparably tied to how the government approaches this vital sector. In India, the government's focus on infrastructure development is very clear. And this is evident in its decision to raise the infra funding by a 16% to over 11 lakh crore rupees in this financial year. Also significant is the fact that the annual spending on national infrastructure has tripled in the last 5 years. However, creating infrastructure is far from easy. And as a member of the Adani Group, which has infrastructure creation at its core, let me tell you that creating sustainable infrastructure is even more difficult. Even at its fundamental level, whether in India or abroad, the infrastructure journey is full of challenges. Let me illustrate my point with 2 examples. One, in India, the most well-known example is the USBRL, the Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla rail project in Jammu and Kashmir, which was launched some 30 years ago by the then Prime Minister, P.V. Narasimha Rao. Years have passed, but very little happened. And here, I must give full credit to the current central government. In less than a decade, over 60% of this incredibly challenging project has been completed, and work on the remaining section is progressing at a very fast pace. This is, by any measure, an amazing achievement, as it is one of the most difficult railway projects globally. Another example that highlights the challenges in infrastructure creation is the high-speed train line between San Francisco and Los Angeles. This was first proposed in the year 2008. 16 years later, the Americans have spent close to $10 billion. That's 80,000 crores rupees, in excess of that, but not even a single track has been laid. I cited these examples as cautionary tales. Infrastructure development, by its very nature, is ambitious. One has to be prepared for unexpected setbacks, from ballooning cost to all kind of interference. Complexity and unpredictability are inherent in mega infrastructure projects. Such experiences underscore the need for robust planning, transparent execution, and resilience in the face of challenges. Perhaps that is why very few entrepreneurs have dared to take on the challenges of infrastructure development. Our chairman, Shri Gautambai Adani, once recollected that he took up infrastructure development as a responsibility after seeing on one of his travels abroad how much India was lagging behind the world in sustainable, high-quality infrastructure. And although he knew it would not be easy, he was determined to stay the course. In the late 1990s, when he decided to build ports, terminals, and power plants, he already knew what lay ahead. One of the advertisements from 1998 had this line in it: "We know it will mean taking on giant odds, facing huge challenges, and solving immense problems. Yet we went ahead because we knew what we were up against and we were ready." At the Adani Group, we learned our lessons early. Our own 3-decade infrastructure journey has taught us a lot. And let me summarize 3 of the most important lessons for the benefit of all. First, it is important to be aligned with national policies and priorities. A perfect illustration would be the PM Gati Shakti scheme, the National Integrated Master Plan that lays the foundation for India's overall infrastructure development. It broadly prioritizes India's needs in 7 sectors, namely roads, railways, airports, ports, mass transport systems, waterways, and logistic infrastructure. To us, the sensible way forward is to be aligned with these national priorities. If we build what India needs, we can better navigate the complexities and, as a result, build faster, build bigger, and build more efficiently. Second, we must have a strong talent bench in place with the technical expertise and competencies to manage and execute large and complex projects. The third lesson is that infrastructure creation requires long-term vision to anticipate both domestic and global trends. In our case, Shri Gautam Adani saw very early on that the world would need to phase down thermal power, and as a part of energy transition, and that is why we decided to get into renewables, not only as an alternative, but also as an equitable way to stay on course for the global energy transition. Today, that long-term vision has made us India's largest private producer of both thermal and green energy. Our drive to create sustainable infrastructure has also led us to become the nation's leading ports and logistic company. Alongside thermal generation, we are also the largest private operator and transmitter and distributor of electricity. We are also the largest private producer in transmission, distribution of electricity, plus also the green energy generation. And we are working our way towards becoming the world's #1 in renewable. One of the projects at our renewable site we are also executing is in Khavda, the Khavda Renewable Energy Park, which will generate in excess of 30 gigawatts of clean power from solar to wind. The installation, a modern monument to energy sustainability, covers several hundred square kilometers and is the world's largest renewable energy project. And we are humbled by this opportunity to build this massive symbol of national pride and sustainable infrastructure. Another massive challenge we have taken on is the redevelopment of Dharavi. It is the largest urban regeneration project in the world. To us, Dharavi project is not just about building hundreds of thousands of new homes. To us, this project is about restoring dignity of living. It is about fulfilling 1 million aspirations, and it is about providing a vastly improved quality of life. In Dharavi, our approach reflects our dedication to inclusive growth and our belief that to benefit society, infrastructure should outlast the present and be sustainable in the long run. NDTV's Infrashakti Awards is a positive advance in this direction. These awards recognize the multifaceted aspects of sustainable infrastructure development. By honoring these trailblazers, we not only acknowledge their diverse contribution, but also inspire future generations to become changemakers capable of building a resilient and prosperous nation. I congratulate NDTV and the InfraVision Foundation for institutionalizing the Infrashakti Awards and for organizing this national event. I see this as a vital platform that calls attention to the vastly understated importance of infrastructure in taking India forward. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you today. We look forward to continuing our humble contribution to help the country achieve even greater heights. Thank you. Jai Hind.